The first thing you smell every morning, before you even open your eyes, is bread. Wood smoke and warm crust and flour hanging in the dark. The only light is the orange mouth of the oven. Outside, the whole city is still asleep. Every loaf that leaves this room is stamped with your name. And you began your life as something a man could buy and sell. You were born a slave. Your first memory is the millstone, a blindfolded donkey walking in circles, and you walking behind it, grinding grain in the dark before dawn. You had an owner. You had a price. In your world, none of this is strange. Nearly 1 in 3 people in your city belongs to someone else. You are a tool that happens to breathe. But Rome is strange about its slaves. It lets them earn. A coin here, a coin hidden there, for years and years. And if you save enough, you can buy back the one thing no one will ever simply give you. You buy yourself. You are near 30 when it happens. They rest a soft felt cap on your head, the cap of a freed man. And just like that, you are a citizen of Rome. You take your old master's family name and make it your own. You step out into the street and you breathe, and for the first time, the breath is yours. The air is yours. Your own body finally belongs to you. And then you do what men like you do with a second life. You work, you bake, and you are good at it. Better than the freeborn fools who never once had to be. You open your own shop. You marry a woman with flour on her hands and a laugh that fills the whole street. You have children. You buy the building next door. A man born as property, now with a home, a name, and bread in the oven. In your world, that is close to a miracle. And the city you built it in is the best place on earth to be alive. Your city is called Pompeii, and it is loud and dirty and gloriously alive. The walls are scratched with graffiti by ordinary hands. Vote for this man, this girl broke my heart, and one that simply says, I came here, I had a good time, I left. At night, you climb to your roof. The bay lies silver under the moon, and over all of it sits the mountain, green, gentle, striped with vineyards to the very top. Your whole life it has sat there, quiet, kind. You have never once thought of it as dangerous. Why would you? It is just the mountain. You should know the mountain's name. It is Vesuvius. 17 years ago, the earth buckled so hard it cracked half the city. Temples fell. You helped clear stone for months. You never forgot the taste of dust in the back of your throat. And ever since, the little tremors never really stopped. The ground shivers. You steady a cup. You go back to your bread. Everyone does. So that summer, when the wells start to run dry, when the springs sink into the ground, and the dogs won't stop barking and the birds go quiet, nobody panics. You have felt the earth move your entire life. It always settles. It always has. This time, it won't. It is an ordinary morning at the end of summer. The streets outside are already full. Someone is haggling over fish. A child is crying somewhere. The baths are filling up. Then the mountain speaks. You drop what is in your hands and step into the street, and the whole city is already there, frozen, looking up. The top of the mountain is simply gone. In its place, a column of black is climbing into the sky. Up and up, miles high, faster than anything should move, spreading at the top like a vast, flat pine tree. For a long moment, the whole city just stands there, heads tipped back, silent. Nobody runs. It is too strange to be frightened of. It almost looks beautiful. Then the sky begins to fall. First the ash, soft as snow, settling on your shoulders. Then small stones, light, gray, full of holes, clattering off the roof tiles. Then more, until it comes down like hail, hissing into the streets, filling the gutters. Now people move. Some snatch up what they can carry and run. For the harbor, for the gates, out toward the open road. They pour out of the city in a ragged stream. You don't, because you have done this before. The ground shook 17 years ago, and you lived through it by staying put under your own good roof. Storms pass. Tremors pass. This will pass too. So you bring your family inside. You bar the door against the falling stone. You dig a hole in the floor and bury your coins. Every coin you ever saved to buy your own life. because you are certain you will dig them up again tomorrow. You choose the walls you raised with your own hands. You choose to stay. It is the last choice you will ever make, and it is the wrong one. The stone keeps falling. It banks up against the door, knee-deep in the street, then waist-deep. The roof begins to groan above your heads under the weight of it. Inside, in the dark, you hold your wife and your children, and you wait for it to stop. It does not stop. By afternoon, the sky is gone. Not the dark of night. There are stars at night. This is the dark of a sealed room with the last lamp blown out. You cannot see your own hand. You can only hear the hiss of the stone, the crack of far-off roofs giving way, and out in the black, people screaming names. Hours crawl past. Maybe you pray. You have a great many gods, and not one of them answers tonight. When the weight finally cracks your own roof, you claw out into the street with a pillow tied over your head against the falling rock. Your world is buried. Your city is a gray desert, lit only by the fire raging at the top of the mountain. You are still alive. You think the worst has passed. The worst is one breath away. High on the mountain, the black column that fed the sky all day finally gives out. It collapses, and it comes down the slope as a single wall, a rolling cloud of ash and gas hotter than your own oven, moving faster than a galloping horse. You see it come over the rooftops, a gray wall glowing at its heart. There is nowhere to run. There was never anywhere to run. You find your wife's hand in the dark. You pull your children in against you. The heat reaches you first, then the light, then nothing at all. And the city called Pompeii falls silent under 20 feet of ash, and the world above simply forgets it was ever there. For 1,700 years you are gone. Grass grows over you. Farmers plant vines in the rich soil above your head and never once guess what lies beneath their feet. And then one day, men with shovels come back. They dig, and they uncover an entire city, frozen at the exact instant it died. They find the forum, the baths, the rude jokes still scratched into the walls. They find your bakery, and then they find you, not your body, that turned to dust long ago. They find the hollow it left in the hardened ash, the perfect shape of a man. They pour in liquid plaster, they wait, and they lift out you, your final second, made solid, curled forward, one arm flung out toward the smaller shapes beside you, reaching for your family. Still reaching 2,000 years later. And here is what no one tells you about that day. The ones who ran, who left their homes, their coins, their pride, and just ran for the gate. Most of them lived. They scattered into the world, grew old, and were forgotten. Every last one. You, who stayed, who trusted the walls you built, you died in the dark with everyone you loved. And because you died exactly there, buried, sealed, and kept, you, the slave, the nobody, became one of the most studied, most looked at human beings who ever lived. You were born with no name. You saved for years and bought one. The mountain took it back in an afternoon. But your bread sits in a museum. Your house has a number, and your reaching hand is behind glass, where people from the far side of the world come to stand and go quiet and look at you. You were not a king. You were not a hero. You were a baker who began with nothing and refused to die a slave. And now, you are history.